Well, hello, and welcome to another midweek reflection. It's good to see you on what is rather a grey day outside. And some of us have a bit of a grey mood at the moment because those of us in Wales have been told that we've got a 2 week, or I think it's a 17-day lockdown, fire break lockdown coming up from 6 p.m. on Friday. So those of you that have got Friday afternoon plans, 5:59, pop back home. And as I say, for some of us, it's brought a feeling of frustration or anxiety about the next couple of weeks and the lack of contact that will mean. Others of us will just be working as normal, especially those of us on the front lines in the healing services, the caring services, the police, etc. Some of us might even be relieved that the Welsh Government are taking steps to tackle what is a growing crisis across this land again. But whatever you feel about it, we know that we are not alone in doing this. For example, in Ireland, they've got a 6-week lockdown coming in, and across Europe and the world even. These kind of lockdowns are coming back as the second wave is hitting. A friend of mine in Australia told me as they're going into summer, a time when it's when the virus isn't as easily passed around. What's the word I'm looking for? It'll come to me. That their restrictions are now beginning to be lifted, but for those of us on this side of the hemisphere, they're coming into play. So we're not alone in that fact, and we're not alone, of course, because God is with us in this time, and it's a bit like a wilderness time for some of us. So there will be times over the next 2 weeks and a few more days that some of us might be struggling, and when we do, I encourage you to reach out to someone, whether that be God, whether that be a time of prayer, whether that's silent or spoken, whether that's expressing yourself to God in art or in any other way that you choose, maybe even dance. I encourage you to take your concerns to God, who will be listening and lamenting and offering strength for the journey, hope for the end of lockdown and so much more. But I also encourage you to reach out to others on the phone or by the computer or by a letter to give someone a call. You might want to, for example, each day of lockdown, that could be a project. Write a card. As you know, some of you will know that I've been doing to members of my church. Write a card to someone just to tell them that you're thinking of them. Otherwise, pick up the phone if you're feeling down, and there's plenty of people who are around who will want to chat. Maybe even get a few jokes ready up your sleeve to put a smile on someone's face. I know in the Castle Square conference call on Sunday, we had a bit of a laugh at those old and apparently true church notices that raise a laugh, like Weight Watchers meet at 7 o'clock tonight. Please use the large double doors at the back. Or tonight's sermon subject, what is hell? Come early and listen to the choir. I think that was it. Anyway, so that's the next couple of weeks. You may even want to use the lockdown time as time to get ahead on your Christmas shopping, because that's not so far away. And in fact, I have. So don't tell my sister. She doesn't watch these things. But I have got her Christmas present ready. This is a present for my sister. I think you can see that. That is a photograph of my nan and my granddad. Pretty much how I remember them. My granddad there with I'm hoping it was Christmas time because my granddad's wearing a Christmas cracker crown. He and my nan are on the floor. This is one of the parties they were hosting. I think they've had a good time, shall we say. And for me, that's just a picture of the joy which came from them and which they shared with others all the time. And it's good to have photographs of our loved ones who have gone before us. It's one way that we can remember them and the impact they had on our lives, the love that they shared with us and received from us. And we know that it's All Saints and All Souls Days, they're coming up. And so your invitation for this week is to send in a photograph or photographs of your saints of old, of family or friends who are no longer with us, who have gone before us, who have been welcomed home by God, to send them to us, and we'll pray for them as we have our All Saints communion service on All Saints Day on the 1st of November. You might want to send a photograph and just a sentence, who they were, their name and their relation to you, or what you remember about them if you want. And if you don't want to send in a photo for any reason, you could just send in a name that you want to be prayed for, a person you want to be prayed for. So that's the invitation for this week. A photograph of your saints, those who have gone before us, that you'd like us to remember on All Saints Day, or their name. And let me remind you, because there's one or two of you, I think one or two, the vast majority of you, of course, have done as I encouraged and sent in what's one of your favourite presents. But some of you haven't, as I say, minority we're talking here. So the rest of you can just turn this off now. But if you're that one, remember what we would like for our digital advent calendar. So we need 24. We're almost at the 4. We're doing better than that. But remember, if you can, send in a short video. You can record it on Zoom if we have to, but your phone, which should suffice. Showing a present that you've been given that you love, maybe saying what it is if it's not clear, who gave it to you if that's appropriate, and why you love it. It can be very short. We've had some excellent ones so far. Some of them are hilarious, others are quite profound, but please do send those in too. So photograph and or the name of loved ones who have gone before us for our All Saints Communion. If you could send those in by Thursday week, tomorrow week, that would be great, and we'll prepare that for the service, and those ongoing best presents that you've received. I don't know if I'm cross-eyed now, because I can see someone outside, one of my running friends, who are walking their dog, and I was looking at the light of the camera. So if I'm cross-eyed, that's the reason, honestly. So go well this week, especially those of us who will be entering a new phase of lockdown. Keep in touch with each other, and God be with you. Bye for now. Me again. This is why I shouldn't do these things before I've had my second cup of coffee in the morning. That was me thinking I was being all advanced, because I forgot a couple of things. First of all, last week's midweek challenge invitation was to send in what would be your advice to your 18-year-old self. What would be your advice to the person you were when you were 18? And we had a good few examples, and we will be sharing those at the end of this. And a lot of you said you appreciated the hymn. What is a hymn? That's a good question. But the song, Everybody's Free to Wear Sunscreen, that we included at the end of last week's reflection. Some of you hadn't come across that before. Certainly when I was 18, that was a kind of a seminal track. I think it made it to #1 for a few weeks. But some good advice within that too, especially be kind to your knees. You'll miss them when they're gone. And I certainly am beginning to feel my knees now. So, yep, wait to the end and you'll see the advice to our 18-year-old selves. Thank you for those of you who sent those in. And tonight, 7:30, what are you doing? I know what you're doing. You're joining us on the Double Vision discussion evening. For those of you that weren't at the last one and haven't caught up on YouTube, we're having these evenings once a month in which we invite 2 speakers to open up a topic from different points of view. They're not necessarily opposing, but we're always asking at least one from outside the Christian tradition, to talk about a particular issue that they know something about. They might be qualified or professionals in that topic, or they might have lived personal experience of it that they can share. It's a chance for us to listen to the perspectives of others, to get involved in the discussion. There will be group discussion and a chance to ask questions to our 2 speakers. Tonight's topic, going with the Black History Month theme and the previous work we did this year on the Black Lives Matter movement, is Black Lives Matter in Wales. And we've got 2 excellent speakers. offering their perspective on this topic. One of them is a Presbyterian Church in Wales worker, and he's going to offer his thoughts from a kind of a faith slant and has some questions about the movement as well. And the other one is someone who was an active protester in the Black Lives Matter protests earlier this year, and he's going to talk about why he felt called to act in such a way and what he thinks that achieves, and what do we do going forward with the Black Lives Matter protests. So it should be a very interesting evening. So that's 7:30 till 9 o'clock tonight. Oh yes, I think we'll put the link or the poster. It might be in front of my face right now. People would say that's a good thing. So the advice is coming. Send in your photos of your saints, of those that you love who have gone before us. Don't forget the present videos. And tonight, 7:30, come join us. That's it for now. See you soon. Bye.